So it's making the rounds, and it appears as though that Sony PlayStation boss says single player games won't come to PC going forward. PlayStation Studios CEO Herman Holtz confirmed the news to staff this week. Actually, today. PlayStation boss Herman Holtz told staff this week that PlayStation's single player games will no longer come to PC. It is claimed. All right. It is claimed. So far, the only source is Jason's Schreier's little Blue Sky post on Blue Sky, guys. And so earlier this year, Bloomberg, citing people familiar with Sony's plans, claimed that the PC was pulling back, that the company, was pulling back from its plan to release its upcoming games on PC, with future single-player games set to become PS5 exclusives. The report claimed that while Ghost of Tsushima eventually got a PC port a few years after its release on PlayStation console, its sequel, Ghost of Yotei, won't be coming to PC after ports. Plans for the port were scrapped earlier this year. Now, everything is claimed. Sony, they just need to, because they already had their quarterly earnings report last week, and their shareholders meeting, I think it already came and went. I think it was in May, earlier in May. And so they just need to come out and say what's going on with the situation. But you know what? In a roundabout sort of way, judging by the fact that most of the ports weren't really one-to-one, even though, anything on a PC, well, actually, Ratchet and Clank is claimed to be a pretty good port, and I should pick that up before it gets yanked off of Steam. And that's the thing too. Are they going to retroactively remove the games from Steam? We saw how Sega did that with their Sega collection. If you got it, you got it. I got it years ago. And then a couple years after the fact, Sega removed that from Steam. It was just a bundle of like some of the best games on the Sega Genesis. And I'm wondering if Sony is actually going to make that stance and remove them from the Steam store, or they're going to say, hey, listen, it's water under the bridge. All the games that are already on there, let them have it. But moving forward, this is where we stand. And if that's the case, then that's fine. I'll pick up Ratchet and Clank. And actually, like I said before, that was considered a very good port. And it's even known to bring a lot of like hefty PCs to its knees, because look, it's really not a good look for Sony to have something like Ratchet and Clank look better, play better, and just like it's amazing with all the ray tracing and all the particle effects. It just blows away anything that you even see on the PlayStation 5, even Pro. All right. And I always say this, and I've always said this, I've been saying this for even way before I had the podcast 15 years ago. Exclusives is what make consoles. Consoles are only worth their exclusives. Without them, then I can understand as to why they're making the stance. It is claimed, actually, and other publications ran by it. This is actually the Blue Sky Post, Jason Schreier's post on Blue Sky. Scoop, guys, scoop. PlayStation Studio Business CEO Herman Holtz told staff in a town hall meeting on Monday morning that the company's narrative single-player games will now be PlayStation exclusives, confirming Bloomberg's reporting earlier this year. And he links to his article that he actually published back in March. And then I guess the rest of the industry is running with it. Polygon, it's an end of an era for PlayStation's first-party free-for-all. Don't expect Wolverine to claw its way back into PC anytime soon. And so this actually now gives me, outside of the titles that are already available on Steam, when it comes to the Ratchet and Clank title, I will be buying it on Steam once it goes on sale again. Actually, I should snatch that up before they even decide to pull it off of the Steam platform. We'll see. Okay, but like I said, this needs to be official. Everything is, he said, she said. MP First actually is running with it too. Sony no longer porting single-player PlayStation exclusive to PC. So the industry is kind of running with it, even though Soros did horribly. It only sold 300,000 copies, right? But I'm going to, and it's funny that you see here GTA 6, I'm going to have to buy a PS5. I don't care whether it's a Pro or not, but the disc version, because I see actually value in that when it comes to their first-party exclusives moving forward. Okay. this is not me caving in. I have, like I said, I've always had consoles in the background. I still have my PS3 and never got a PS4. But I've been shit. I don't want to say this. Should I say this? I'm gonna age myself. Holy shit! I've been playing PC since the fucking 80s, guys. Since the 80s. But I've always saw value in consoles, and without it, and I still stand on this. I think bringing, even though Halo originally was for the Macintosh, I think what Microsoft did by bringing Halo to PC and to now the PlayStation platform was a very big mistake. There's literally no reason for me to buy an Xbox. And if that was the case moving forward, for example, if Sony said, hey, yeah, we're going to let all of our first party titles on PC, there really isn't a reason to buy a PlayStation when you can have, triple, quadruple the performance on PC. So you have to understand they're trying to protect this hardware slash software synergy that the PlayStation brand represents. And so I get it. I understand it. The only one really truly doing it is Nintendo. Like if you want to play, Metroid, Zelda, Mario, Mario Kart, Smash Bros, you have to buy a Nintendo console. And I get it. And they do it well. It's like, but then again, they're like the Disney of gaming. So I'm kind of, it's not bitter news. It's bittersweet. Well, actually, I'm going to have to buy a fucking PlayStation 5 anyway, guys, just to play Grand Theft Auto 5. And then the good thing about Grand Theft Auto 6, Grand Theft Auto 6, the good thing about Grand Theft Auto 6 this go around is that there's actually now people from within saying that it's not going to be that long before it comes to PC. And they're not going to wait a year and a half, almost 2 years. Remember, when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013, and then it wasn't until I think a year and a half, 18 months later, it came out on PC. And that's where the majority of, mods and guys, you guys heard about 5M, like Rockstar actually, they actually purchased 5M, and I'm going off tangent here, but it's important. And, they made it part of the Rockstar Studio branch. And so, there's a lot of people that think that mods are going to be paid for. If that's the case, if that's the road they're going to go down, oh man, it's going to turn out so bad. We already saw how that happened with other titles before. But yeah, I wanted to highlight also a couple of other things here. 2 years ago, Holtz committed to releasing PlayStation Live service games day and date on PC and PS5. But its single-player PC releases have been less consistent, with Holtz saying that the company takes a more strategic approach. Sony may not be the only one to go back to exclusives. Asha Sharma, Microsoft's new Xbox chief, told staff that she is, quote, reevaluating, not she, they, okay, reevaluating exclusive games for the platform. And if this is the route that they want to go, then that's fine, okay? I like competition, but if you want a performance, high fidelity, high frame rates, just better overall experience, it is on PC. And with the project, what's the, what's Helix? Project Helix. I think that this is going to be probably Xbox's last console. It's going to be kind of modular if they plan on going with that console PC / hybrid. There is no other, think about that. What can they come out with after that? Because they're basically capitulating and saying, guys, it's pretty much a PC with an Xbox OS front end and, have at it. And so we'll see. But as far as Sony is concerned, yeah, man, look, they need to protect this brand. I mean, what's the use of me buying a PlayStation when everything is available on PC, guys? You know how it is. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. PlayStation exclusives aren't coming to PC anymore.